world still needs superheroes. So let's get out there. Let's take these cocksuckers down.
We are famous now.
Don't you worry. Daddy's home.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. We are back, Beau Oliver, Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey, and Teddy for The Boys, Season 2, Episode 7, Spoiler Discussion, Butcher, Baker, Candlestick Maker. Yeah, well, Aaron had the same reaction during the regular review.
Okay.
During the normal review.
Stop calling it the normal review.
I'm not even doing that to be funny. I don't know what to call it. The first review, the first video that we did.
The two-man review, I don't know.
This is a spoiler discussion.
Spoiler discussion, yes, and that was just review. This is the spoiler discussion, and of course we have Teddy. Big episode, Ted. A lot of stuff happened.
Better and better, this show is. This was the most diabolical
He used the
funny.
catchphrase.
What?
He used the catchphrase.
Has Butcher said that in Season 2?
He hasn't said it yet.
Yeah, he
not
did.
yet.
He just said it when he hit the whale.
Yeah, that's season 2.
All right, you make it seem like he says it 24/7.
He could say a couple more diabolicals before the season is over.
This was like diabolically funny.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like between Homelander taking Ryan from Rebecca, the heads popping off at the end, and then funny with like the whole scene with Hughie and Lamplighter. I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. I think a lot of things in this episode that are meant to be offensive came off as kind of just funny. And not
I
offensive.
laughed at the end, kind of. I was like,
a lot of
Are you kidding?
Tarantino vibes where things in Tarantino movies happen where it's like things that aren't supposed to be funny. But
like they went there, and it's funny that they went there.
Right, yeah. They always know how to toe the line. And this episode, I think, it was their most, I guess, diabolical episode of the season. Definitely. All around, like you said.
A lot of tense.
Was there anything that
moments, too,
stood out to you besides the end?
that stood out?
Yeah. Any moment, any scene, any themes? I mean, the ending was pretty
Well, yeah. I mean,
explosive.
when we finally found out why Butcher is so fucking crazy. When he met his dad.
That was one of my favorite scenes of the episode.
Yeah. That guy looks so familiar.
John Noble. It's been around.
Okay.
He plays Denon?
His voice. I love his voice.
What's his name in Lord of the Rings?
Boromir's dad.
Boromir's dad.
You're
a Rings guy. You're supposed to be the Rings guy.
I love their accents.
Well, apparently,
You cunt.
when you watch, people who watch the show from the UK hate Carl Urban's
Really?
accent.
I love
they say
it,
it's
Beau.
all over the place.
Everything he does is like badass.
But for us, it's like,
I need that.
It's a perfect Cockney accent. What are
I
you
need
talking
that,
about?
yeah.
But isn't he from the UK?
No, he's from New Zealand.
Oh.
They all sound the same though, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I can't even deny it. The accent sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the UK fans hate it.
Oh, well.
It sucks for them then, I guess. Dude, can this show, I'm not going to say that it's on the same level, but it's getting better and better to where it's like kind of like Game of Thrones. Where Game of Thrones, yes, is like once in a century, once in a lifetime show, but this show I feel like is almost just as good.
Well, it's different. It's like it's good for like different reasons.
Right.
It's just like, I mean, you could tell me this is the most fun you've ever watched.
For
you've
real,
ever
man.
had watching TV, and I'd be like, yeah, because it might be the most fun I ever had watching TV also. And like you said, a lot of the deeper moments, the bigger moments that kind of like with Lamplighter showing like all the shit he went through, and I didn't really like that, but just how they're able to intertwine deeper themes, and this man living with so much regret that he takes his own life in front of what he used to be or wanted to in front of what he used to be. And then, like, it's Hughie trying to cut off his hand the next scene, and it's fucking hilarious.
But
it just meshes all those different elements so well that it is, like, it could be considered one of the most accurate comic book depictions on screen because that's how a comic book plays. It's so over the top and outlandish, but it feels so real for this world that they established.
But I love how short they kept Lamplighter, though, because he is a supporting actor. They didn't keep him going, where it was just like it never...
I think they could have done more with that, like him making a bigger sacrifice or a meaningful sacrifice to kind of redeem himself and be the hero that he always wanted to be.
I think he did,
I felt like it was kind of just a throwaway, but I didn't like... I think I'm cooling on it a little bit. I really didn't like it at first, but, you know, even if, like, when Starlight gets the light, because he sets off the emergency and she's able to escape...
Who's Starlight?
I don't know. Maybe make that like an intentional thing that he did to save Starlight. And
I think it was, man.
No, he just killed. Like he just went out.
I disagree with both of you because I don't think it was an intentional thing. I'm happy it wasn't because I thought it was just funny. If he would have made that, he wouldn't have known, obviously, that she needed to power up that way. Because it seems like nobody knows about her power.
Yeah, but he knew
I like
about
it.
that cell and what was in that cell.
You make a great point. You know, he kills himself, and it's obviously tragic, and then Hughie has to come cut off his hand. This character is a victim, And it's kind of got, you mentioned Game of Thrones, there's a lot of the Wire vibes going on in this show where it's kind of society is the villain, right? They're all just kind of victims to society no matter what side they're on. They all seem to share a lot of the same fucked up problems. And but Lamplighter, like you said, he's a side character. He's there to show you what happens to these superheroes when it goes wrong and how it can go tragically wrong.
Yeah.
And he's a great actor. I think they did so many good things with him in episode 6. Maybe you can keep him along. People wouldn't be disappointed. But I thought that was a powerful scene and then hilarious.
I want to go to a powerful scene too, man. That fucking first scene. You kidding me?
Yeah.
The kid that's getting brainwashed by Stormfront.
Right, yeah. And Aaron made a point about how when you push a narrative on fear, how it can manifest in violent ways. And that's, he's a character there that's there to serve that message, to just show how irresponsible Homelander and Stormfront are being with this new push. And it's the people that they don't care about. These are deaths, these are sacrifices that have to be made. Because like Homelander says, thoughts and prayers, but let's get to the bigger picture.
Well, they do care about them because they're the reason that this is happening. It's like they want this to happen.
I'm saying they don't care about the victim. Right.
Oh, the victim. Yeah, right.
That they're supposed to be the heroes, and they're pushing a message that is just, you're seeing innocent people lose their lives because of it.
Well, yeah, it's the two of the most powerful people in the world, both superpowered and influential. Mm-hmm. And they knew what they were doing, and they're trying to manipulate other people, like this character, like this Neil. That's his name in Community. And like you said, they don't care about the innocent man that died because of their narrative, because their goal is to feed their army of soups and get more soups, and for their own selfish ways. They don't care about even their people who support them. It's all manipulation with them. They're using humans as pawns because they can, because they are superpowered. And obviously there's a lot of parallels to the real world and how people use political influence to use that. And I guess it just magnified 1,000 because they can fly and laser you and electrocute you and all that fun stuff.
Did Stormfront say keep America safe again?
Yes, she did.
That's so funny, man.
Who are they parodying with Homelander and Stormfront? I can't put my finger on it.
But I think the most terrifying aspect of this episode, or we always talk about how every time Homelander is on screen, it's just very anxiety-inducing because you never know what this guy is going to do. And when they were at Becca's house, I felt so bad for her. Just being trapped in her own home, not being able to do anything to protect her son because she can't. And she relies on having to appeal to Homelander's humanity, which we know is none. To try to save her son, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, she inadvertently pushes him to kidnap Ryan.
Yeah.
Where she paints the picture of what he'll need to grow up normally. And he says, oh, that's great. Me and Stormfront will take care of this.
Because he's kind of a sense, Homelander is kind of making sense too to her, saying that you can't hide everything from him. So I feel like Becca really should have known that she can't hide him his entire life.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a commentary on the overbearing parent who never lets their kid out of the nest, and then the kid goes to middle school and someone says, hey, fuck you, and the kid's like, doesn't know how to react. Right, yeah, no, the other thing is that they were put in that nest that's the thing, Homelander has had nothing to do with this. In that conversation that Butcher has with Vogelbaum, he says, hey, it wasn't Homelander that hid my wife and her kid, it was you guys. So I guess they were trying to, in the opposite way, like Marissa mentioned on one of our reviews, that I guess they were trying to create the perfect Superman. Right, just grows up with a mother, but maybe they just went too far because you do have that threat of Homelander out there, and you also have the public. If this secret gets out, this is the most damaging piece of information that could bring down Vought. I mean, when Stan Edgar realizes that Billy has those pictures, he's like, get out of there. Deal.
But to touch on Homelander again, he kind of shows a hint of humanity kind of too, because he acknowledges that he is fucked up.
Yeah, we mentioned this time and time again that he's very self-aware. He knows that there's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
It's not that he's just this psychopathic character who thinks he's always right, who thinks he's infallible, who is beyond criticism or beyond critique or beyond improving. He is a psychopath and he displays those tendencies. But like you said, yeah, he can go a little introspective there.
You know what's funny? When Ryan was showing Homelander and Stormfront his Lego movies, The Blind Side, and Homelander was getting ready to fucking shit on it. And Stormfront turns around and stares at him like, don't do that.
She gave him a couple looks throughout the episode of, remember what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're trying to steal the kid. So play it cool until we can do that.
Yeah, then she shits on him and says, you do any normal kid stuff? But it's but it works too, because it's you're kind of making fun of him, trying to get him to realize that maybe you shouldn't be doing this too. And then he's starting to realize.
Well, like you said, it's Becca is just being tormented in the scene because everything that they remark is just another
shitting on
ploy for them to bring Ryan closer to them. So it's like, hey, you want to come to Vaughtland? We'll talk about it anytime.
Yep.
just undermining Becca's authority, undermining her ability to just be a mother to Ryan. And because we know what these two characters are capable of, that's why it's so tense. Because we've seen what they've done in the past, and I'm sure that they maybe won't cross that line, but if it comes to it, they would.
Yeah, and
if they're forced.
We see in the finale, that little promo they had, that Becca does come to Billy, and that's an even bigger motivation for him to finish the job he started with Vought and Homelander.
Yeah, and he was the one who wasn't so sure about raising Ryan, but now he has no choice but to save him.
Do you guys think...
And we were wondering, what would Butcher's new motivation be?
Yeah, because she kicked him out.
Right, yeah.
Do you guys think there's a hidden soup in this show right now?
Yes.
Do you?
I think there might be a couple hidden soups.
Yeah?
I mean, it depends on what theories that you guys have read up on. And I'm not referencing anything.
I haven't read up on anything. I'm
referencing something that's kind of from the comics, but it's different in the show, but it's also appearing in the show. Little Fly. Have you guys heard about the Fly?
No.
All right, we won't talk about it. But
Breaking Bad?
It looks like, it might be. Same Fly, same actor.
Well, I've seen a lot of people point out, and this is from like previous episodes, like little hints that Soldier Boy might make an appearance. And he was one of the first to fight for the Americans that Vought created when he came over here and started helping us, I guess.
Right.
So
they're Captain America?
Yeah, basically like their Captain America type. So maybe he might make an appearance. I don't know. They're definitely.
I love this show, dude.
Well, that's one of my favorite things when they introduce new superheroes and you see their powers and get more insight into like the scope and span of all these heroes that Compound V has created. So I hope so. I mean, we still have Cindy out there in the loose that we got introduced to last episode, and that was obviously.
So that had to be Cindy, right?
Well, you have to I guess. I don't know. I've seen some people speculate, but it's like obvious because that's the same power that we've never seen anyone else use besides her. In episode 6, so it's like, it's got to be. What are her motivations? I think it still could be something where she's just like, fuck everybody.
So,
because if you think about it, what she did helped Vought because they're able to delay the proceedings, and they can spin it as another super terrorist. And look, you really need us now. This fucking person they're exploding heads on a whim. So I don't know.
It seemed
there are
too
a lot
strategic.
of a lot of different routes you can go down, but like from Cindy's perspective and what we've seen, what does she like? She just might be on a rampage because the way that she was treated by Vought. And this is her way of revenge.
Here's my theory, after what you said to me earlier today.
Okay, so here's my theory, basically.
No, but it's off of yours.
Well, your original theory was Butcher.
Off of yours.
This kid watches the episode, he texts me. They're focusing in on Butcher like that? You don't think he's up to something shady?
You kidding me?
I'm like, why would Butcher do that?
You just watched 20 people's heads explode, and they went to him like he was going to do something.
Well, that was them showing us that Butcher is very frustrated that everything
Everyone's frustrated.
Turns to shit. But I said in the official review that Butcher... he wants this never-ending cycle of violence.
What, it says, let's saddle up. Let's go. No, we get it.
It wasn't Butcher.
Yeah, it makes sense now.
Okay, so what's your new theory?
So after what you told me that it was the church, I think that Cindy was in the church and she got grabbed because Sage Grove was doing tests on people who were adults. So maybe she was with the church and Sage Grove grabbed her, and now the church wants to get back with Vought.
I kind of don't hate that idea that maybe the church was keeping an eye on this facility. They were aware of what happened, and then they were the ones who picked up this girl and then used her powers to commit that hit. The reason why I think it's the church, and it could just be random acts, but I think these killings were specific, and they do benefit a lot of people in the show. And like we mentioned on the review, Stan Edgar's not there. Why wouldn't he be there if this is a Vought hearing? You would think that the CEO of Vought would be there. Alistar tells the Deep and A-Train that he's got a meeting coming up. Maybe that's the meeting. He's just being tongue-in-cheek there. Shockwave dies. Vogelbaum dies, so he can't testify against his former company. The guy who's running the hearing dies. I guess that's an intimidation kill. And they keep Newman alive, which is interesting. Victoria Newman, the congresswoman who was kind of leading all of this. I think that's why it could definitely be the church. I think it's a good way to tie it in. But it could just be someone else.
With this show, you never know.
The most interesting part about the scene, besides the fact that it was beautifully shot and it's extremely tense, when a power like that is being used and you just never know who it's going to hit next.
I don't think
it's so
Homelander
tense
and
for
Stormfront.
us.
No.
Right, yeah, I was just going to mention that. Homelander and Stormfront are clueless as to what's going on. I mean, they see what's going on, but they don't know who's doing it. But I got a kick when the Deep grabs his own head.
Yeah,
that's how I felt.
But you felt Ashley told Homelander to do something.
Yeah, she's like,
what the fuck do you want me to do?
I thought Ashley was done for, dude. I
thought
she was about to get her head splattered.
I thought Mallory or Newman were done for. I thought like they
Yeah,
can just
Mallory.
take out anyone at that point. But they survive, and we do see with A-Train. It's interesting that in the promo that he goes to Hughie and Starlight. So it seems that
Gives them something.
Yeah.
On Stormfront.
So it might be that could be a play by Alistar, or he could just be doing his own thing now, because we've seen that he's not as like full in as the Deep is at this point. There's some hesitance there, so I'm interested to see where he's coming from. I could see him trying to do his own thing, like, all right, I don't really want to be with this crew, so the smart thing to do for me now that the other speedster's dead is to take down Stormfront so I can get my spot back.
Yeah, because A-Train isn't privy to what's really happening at all. He just thinks he wants to take down Stormfront.
Well, now I'm wondering if Alistar tells them next episode, hey, boys, look what I did. I did that for you. And A-Train's like, whoa. Like you said, I can't be associated with these people. I'm going to do my own thing. Whatever information he has on Stormfront. Because they have pretty damning information on Stormfront themselves.
Right.
The whole Liberty connection.
I don't know what else you can get.
Maybe this is more
of
of a smoking gun. This is some insider information that they have where it's definitive that Stormfront is Liberty. Or it's definitive that Stormfront's Frederick Roth's wife.
Nazi wife.
Imagine if that information came out. Yeah, Compound V. You want more Compound V? This is what it did. It gave you Stormfront. I mean, say what you want about the American public. We're not big fans of Nazis. So
nope.
When the Nazi when it comes out that Stormfront's a Nazi, she might lose all those fans.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to come back from that.
I wonder if she has to, because I haven't looked back at the scene yet, but I wonder if she has to be in, if it was the Cindy, if she has to be in the vicinity of the people, or she can just do it wherever she is.
See, but you were the one who made the point that maybe Cindy didn't kill Raynor. And that made me think, because there's such a focus on Cindy's power when we first see her. Mm-hmm. It's such an epic moment. They're all afraid. She's snapping people's heads off and crushing their bodies and shit.
Lamplighter has that conversation, though, with Stormfront, that one of his patients feel bad for what she did.
That is true. That is a good point.
I don't know. There's a lot of different
avenues.
But
she feels bad for that, then why would she
that's the thing.
everyone?
If Stormfront is using Sydney for hits, Stormfront, I guess she was just pretending in that scene. When she's kind of walking around, when everyone's heads are exploding. I guess she's just trying to play it off.
Oh, maybe.
Because obviously Homelander doesn't know about any of this. Homelander wouldn't know about the official hits. He doesn't know about the facility with the people being tested. So Stormfront may just be playing up her role.
Dude.
And that's another moment of her, Edgar, in cooperation, ensuring that Vought survives this hearing.
Stormfront didn't really kill her. Like we assumed she was going to when she tried killing Cindy, air quotes killing, at Sage. Just put on a show.
What's your point?
That they're in cahoots.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Let me just incapacitate her. I'm not going to kill her. So it looks like I'm not using this one for hits.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. Just there's a lot with Cindy's character. It seems like she's finally escaped. So like, why would she just go back and work for Edgar and Stormfront?
Right.
It seems that she's just doing it on her own. And it's just something that, she's not thinking about, if I kill these people, then that's actually going to help Vought in some ways. Because Vogelbaum can't deliver the testimony and they make it out of the hearing. And they can spin that. Maybe she's just like, fuck everybody. I don't know who to blame, but I don't care that this man can bring down Vought, but he's the reason why I was in this facility to begin with, so I'm going to kill him.
Where's Stan Edgar?
And then,
where the hell is he?
Shockwave. I'm a big A-Train stan, so fuck you.
Where's Stan Edgar, you asked?
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Seriously, though.
Just chilling.
He's got to be part of that hit. I don't know, man. There's so many theories you can probably fucking drum up off of this. That's what's so great about this show.
It's a pretty big moment, too, when Starlight breaks out and she has that showdown with Noir. But I also enjoy the smaller moment there that Hughie and Starlight share. And I don't know, it just speaks a lot. I think Hughie gets a lot of a bad rep as a character. I don't think anyone hates him, but I don't know. But I think that's the perfect way to show who he is and how good of a character he is. It's even in literally trying to storm the Justice League's tower as a regular human to save someone you love. There's something nice about that.
The guy wants to fuck the wife, man. He doesn't want to be a cuck anymore.
Yeah. That was outrageous, those porn scenes. Who just watches porn like that? Like casual television viewing.
Yeah, with somebody that you just met, you're there. Well, I don't watch porn with anyone.
Of your old coworkers?
Thing. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't pick
well, he knew he was
B-level
dead.
Superhero porn.
I think all lost.
Eagle the Archer.
I think all hope was gone for Lamplighter at that point, though.
Right, and just pairing them together, they say that they let Hughie watch Lamplighter. Hughie says, because I'm useless, that's why I'm watching you. But it goes to show that the archetype of being a hero in this world has become so messed up, where Lamplighter's entire life is being told that he's a hero, and really he's the villain. He's the one banging college girls. He's burning children alive. Look, this whole role of being a hero has corrupted him. And Hughie is someone who never strived to be a hero in his life. He just wanted to be a normal person. That's what he kind of just says. And he is the hero. He becomes the hero. It's the unlikely hero that Hughie is. And time and time again, he finds a way. He is, I think in 40 years, or in like 25 years, Hughie's going to be all grizzled. He's going to just be Michael Shannon.
He's going to be Joel.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
he's going to find his Hughie.
Yeah.
He was going to have a Cockney accent for some reason.
He's going
to be a skinny bastard like you.
Billy.
Oh, like cunts.
Yeah. Then he has
Hughie?
the same scene with Billy, and that Billy had with his father. And I got a kick out of Lamplighter and Hughie. I thought the writing there was good. And like I said, Lamplighter is just the washed-up hero. There's nothing left for this guy to do. And like I said, he is a victim, where he's driven to his own suicide. And you would think in that moment the heroic thing to do would to be keep fighting for the boys. This is the fight that you've always dreamed of having, but he's just not built for that. He was never built to be that person. And I think that happens with Maeve in this episode as well, where Elena has that line, "Show me the real you," and she's like, Queen Maeve is the real me. I'm a fucked up superhero. Yeah. That's it.
Every time I see Black Noir fight though, I'm like always surprised about like what a problem this guy is.
Well, there are a lot of theories on Black Noir.
Yeah.
Even with what we know about his character, but yeah.
I heard that, but I didn't want to look into it. I just want to. Is he dead? He's dead, right?
Black Noir? No, I don't think so.
You can die from anaphylactic shock, though. I think he did.
I think he's built different.
Yeah,
I think that's not taking
the
him out.
EpiPen.
There's no way that's how Black Noir dies.
That'd be hilarious if that's how he went out. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, him having
An
a tree
almond
nut
joy?
is very.
You know what I read up on? That the actor that plays Black Noir actually does have a peanut allergy.
Oh, really?
And that's where they got that from.
Art imitating life.
That's hilarious. Do you guys like how each theme is kind of repetitive in each show? Because I felt this whole episode was like our characters encountering their past.
Yeah. Well, every episode does seem to have its own theme, and I do like that. I don't think it gets repetitive. I think because they do such a good job of it, where you don't even realize it until you start to really focus on the episode. Oh my God, they're drawing all of these parallels throughout these characters, and they do it in such a seamless way, and that's why I think it works. Mm-hmm. Because there are similarities and there are differences. I mean, one of the best scenes, like we said, Butcher and Vogelbaum, when he asks him about Homelander's childhood, that was more for him. That was like, let me see about Homelander's childhood. How was he always evil? No, he wasn't. He was a sweet kid. It's like, oh,
it was his dad that did it to him.
Yeah, I'm fucked up too, man. We're both fucked up.
Well, that's been kind of reoccurring. This episode, like you said, they kind of do it with Lamplighter, with Hughie, with Starlight and her mother, and with
even Mother's Milk. Mallory says to him, "Your dad's never getting justice.
Yeah.
Leave."
But that's kind of been recurring throughout the whole series. People reflecting on their past and what got them to this point. And I think it's used as, with a lot of other themes, to show parallels between these people, good versus evil, superhero or not, kind of showing. I mean, you always say that Butcher and Homelander share a lot of parallels, right? So I think they're, it's definitely an intentional move just to show how close they are while ending up being so different.
You know what's one of my favorite relationships? The evil corporate guy and the CIA agent that have the mutual respect and relationship.
Vogelbaum and Mallory.
Yeah, that have been battling to take each other down, but no one could either, get one up on the other. I just love that.
She even says we're two retirees.
Yeah,
just shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit on the back nine. Tell me all your secrets. And he's great. He's fantastic. And Mallory as well. Mallory is a character where if she dies, I will be so upset. She may be the best CIA handler I've ever seen. She's just so cool.
I love that Kimiko and Frenchie are starting to mend their relationship again. It's looking like they're going to be a thing by the time this series is over, which is nice.
Yeah, and, them being at odds with each other in the beginning of the season, it hurts for us because we want to see Kimiko have that person that she can communicate with. And Frenchie is just the perfect guy to do it. Where a lot of the last episode was examining why he was just so committed to helping Kimiko. It's because he wanted to make up for his past sins. But I think there is a genuineness to his heartfelt nature.
After seeing last week's episode,
I don't know if that's a word, genuineness.
It sounds right.
He is genuinely heartfelt.
After seeing last week's episode, I really want more Frenchie, and this was probably the only thing I didn't like about this episode, is that we don't get more Frenchie.
Well, you made that complaint that Frenchie's been a supporting character. Then they give him a whole episode. Now he's back to being a supporting. That's where it gets from Game of Thrones, where the cast is becoming bigger and bigger, and like people complain about Maeve not getting enough spotlight. Well, it looks
She
like
really doesn't.
They may be saving her up for something.
Well, they said it before the season. It's going to be a big Black Noir season. Really hasn't. He's had a
Good
few extra
amount.
fight scenes. He's been there.
I think they
but-
were just talking about the porno, the big Black Noir.
I want to.
That was the name of it.
You think
Well,
it's-
he's
it's-
had more to do this season because last season he was just a punchline.
Yeah.
This season he's at least punching people.
Is Black Noir like their soup getter? Because they have that whole cell for a reason. It's not just for Starlight. And
He seems to be like when you
He's
need.
the cleanup guy.
Yeah. It's like Homelander, he's your big gun, but when you need something done on the low.
you know what's gonna get done? It's Black
Yeah,
Noir.
Homelander's the face. Black Noir is he's the garbage man.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of
He
Black
is.
Noir,
I said it on the review, Ted. He's just their security team. All the alarms go off. It's like guys with
Ah.
AKs. No, it's just Black Noir.
dude. Speaking of that,
And
they
he
did it-
beats the crap out of Starlight.
I want to get to that too. Did they dead ass just break into like you said, the Justice League tower?
Yes,
through a vent
yeah, it's
on the
hilarious
first floor?
when he scans his hand and it goes through. Boom, bitches.
He screams,
Such
yeah.
an asshole.
Are you kidding? No, I want to get to that fight scene. That was probably the longest choreographed fight we've seen.
You know what's funny? One of the only choreographed scenes comes from the very, very beginning when they do that promo of Maeve and Homelander in the first season. When they do the slow motion
Yeah.
when she stomps on the car. But yeah, no, this was one of the better fights that they've done. More traditionally superhero-esque
Yeah.
type of fight. And Starlight, I thought this is where you were going to get your moment where she just lets loose and lights this man up.
She did. Yeah.
She did a couple
For a
times.
second,
Yeah, she tossed him back and forth. But Black Noir, like we said, I got really excited when Maeve grabbed him by the head. It's like, oh yeah, Maeve.
So is that May's power, super strength? Is that really it?
You're just obsessed with Maeve's power, huh? You want
I
the whole
really want to
fucking
know
rundown.
I really want to know what the hell she has. How is she in the 7? Super strength?
That's what A-Train was giving Hughie and Starlight, just Maeve's power.
Yeah. You can unlock this if you have to.
Yeah, super strength, super speed, super.
Stamina,
Yeah.
durability.
Okay, so she's a Homelander, but she can't fly.
Pretty much.
That's Wonder Woman.
All right.
What do you think? Wonder Woman shoots beams out of her eyes?
She doesn't.
She has the lasso.
Right, exactly. Well, we established this. Maeve's not a god.
I never said she was. I'm just saying.
She's a freak.
I don't think super strength is good enough for the 7.
Oh, well, an idea just kind of popped into my head. I don't know. It's completely random, but the idea of when Starlight confronts Billy about being bigoted towards superheroes and how you would think that's impossible. No danger can come from that because they're superhuman. They're bulletproof. And then you have the character in the beginning of the episode asking the clerk, "Are you bulletproof, motherfucker?" So I guess that's where a real danger can come from that. Even when Butcher thinks he's doing the right thing. How people can be mistaken as superheroes, and then you have innocents being killed. And even if somebody is injected with Compound V, that doesn't make them a villain. It makes them a victim.
And I think Butcher has superpower too. Just
Well,
saying.
I
That's
mean,
why he hates him so much.
a lot of people are starting to think, does Edgar have a power? Is Lenny still around? Because they keep bringing up Lenny. I mean, in this episode, we learned that
No, Lenny's not Black Noir too.
Lenny's probably not Black Noir, but he did kill himself because of his father.
Yeah.
So there's your question answered. And then his father even blames Butcher, which was really messed up. But I don't know who's got the powers, who's got the secret powers. Could be Stan.
Do you think we'll get like a definitive wrap up on this storyline? More cliffhanger-esque when it comes to the season 2 finale.
I think there's a chance that Stormfront could die.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen that one shot from the very first shot of the first trailer they released when Homelander's flying down and he's covered in blood. And he looks very disgusted or afraid.
I want to say that I agree with you. Stormfront's going to die because I think Homelander is going to find out what Stormfront's real plan is. Because it doesn't seem like those two are on the same page. I think she's still just playing Homelander into what he wants.
I could see that too. That's what I kind of.
Do you think Homelander's
Expected.
going to introduce his kid to the world?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Maybe.
Because I feel like they're going too far on what they're releasing to the public, and that's going to come back and bite them. The plan to out Starlight as a terrorist, or as a terrorist, she was working with the terrorists.
Oh, the poor
Now
girl.
Starlight, is
Yeah,
more drive
she
than
has
ever.
to mend that.
Right, exactly. Now she can just, she doesn't have to play the part anymore. She's not playing both sides. She can just go at them with everything she's got.
Well, one thing I
Power
did
and information.
get from the promos, like that last shot of Homelander like looking into the camera. And obviously his eyes, usually they say eyes are a window into the soul. His eyes are a vessel for laser beams. So, and I think what we've seen with some foreshadowing with him having that vision where he kills all the innocent people, what Teddy said last week with him and Stormfront looking over the film set of a destroyed city, I think that something's going to happen this episode where it's definitive that Homelander is not the good guy here. And the implications for the next season and future seasons will be through that, where it's no longer the boys versus this corporation that's basically the world and society against this evil dictator Superman.
I could agree with that. I could see them taking down Vought in the next episode. Not literally, physically taking like the tower down, and then it's going to be, like you said, the world against Homelander.
Well, I got some questions from our fans on Twitter focused on The Boys, episode 7, and season 2 as a whole, so we'll ask some of those. This question here from Kara Stay Home and Kara Limbo. What are the odds that either Becca or Ryan dies in the finale? I think those actually, you know what? That could be what Homelander was looking at. It could be dead kid.
Ooh.
Dead son. And that look in the trailer with his eyes, it reminded me of Frank Underwood in House of Cards when they give that PSA about the terrorist attack, that we're just leaning all the way into fear. Fear is the message now. We'll always be your heroes because these motherfuckers are coming to kill you. So maybe something so bad happens with him, and it could be the son. But Becca, you kill off Becca because you want to cover up the conspiracy.
Yeah, and then Butcher saving, that would be cool. Like Butcher saving her son, though, and kind of raising him to be a good superhero. That could be all very interesting to explore.
Yeah, Ryan raised by single dad Butcher.
That'd be a fucked up kid. What'll be more fucked up, Butcher raising him or Homelander?
I feel like Butcher.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure, like, is this show going to be one where, like Game of Thrones, that was always the big thing. And you've seen shows try to replicate it afterwards, and it just didn't have the same impact because there was always a reasoning, or looking back, like, nothing was forced with Game of Thrones. Like, Ned died for a reason, and it propelled the story to a whole different atmosphere. Same thing with Rob. So I'm not sure, like, what type of show this is when it comes to that, because we really haven't had too big of a major deaths yet. So would they be willing to take out a Frenchie, a Kimiko, a Hughie, so a character that we really enjoy that's on the side of the good guys? And if they do, I hope it's just not for shock value.
I think they could do it, man. The way that the show's written, they do a great job. I think they could take off somebody and still, like, rebound off of it. Here's the thing. Did Game of Thrones have the following it had after season 1? Was Game of Thrones following huge? Because this following isn't big.
Well, I was wondering if Amazon Prime is thinking we could potentially have our Game of Thrones with this show, because the ratings have been tremendous. But, I mean, Game of Thrones was the popularity it got to, obviously. It wasn't that popular, but it was pretty well watched after one season.
Do you think if this show has a crazy season 3 that it could be like one of the better shows on TV? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. I think you're never gonna hit. I don't think a show can ever hit that popularity, because
that's once in a lifetime, man.
Yeah, that's like a once in a generation thing. But hey, this could be one of the kind of shows that usher in the new decade.
I feel like
see if this decade can match the one that came before it.
Well, I feel like with Thrones, like the whole thing was like, oh, I don't like fantasy, whatever.
Yep.
But like when you got into the crux of the show, it's just the earlier seasons were just so well written and made for compelling drama. With this, I feel like if you don't like this type of story, you're just never going to get into it, because it is a very over the top and very comic-y at times. So it's like, it's not like we're Game of Thrones where if I don't like medieval fantasy, but I'm going to like this. It's like if you don't like this type of comic book adaptation, you're just not going to like it in general.
But there is a comic book adaptation of this, but this show isn't really it's not really a comic book adaptation, it feels like, because isn't The Boys like a newer comic book? It's not like it's a Superman, Spider-Man.
It's still an
adaptation. But I also don't think it's as
like
accessible.
Yeah.
It's
not like a classical adaptation like mass appeal with the MCU and what they're trying to do. This is like very like you're in for a wild ride, and if like you're not down with it 100%, then you're just not going to enjoy it. But I think that there's a ton of people out there that do, and that's why it's so popular right now and why it's so good.
This question here from Nelson: which character has grown on you significantly this season compared to how you felt about them since the pilot episode? Mother's Milk is the character for me, loving him this season. I would agree with that. I would agree with Mother's Milk has become my favorite character because he's just such a solid supporting character. He's cool, he's badass, he's good at his job, but he's also sweet and sensitive, and he builds dollhouses, and he watches Outlander. Is that what that show is called?
We're saying that too, that not that we didn't like him the first one. He's just
characters.
More.
Well, I even think Billy Butcher has become a better character in this season, because seeing Becca, seeing his father, giving that character more depth, it adds to the violent rages where he's just not some gruff, grizzlied rogue killer. He's also an actual human being.
He's also grounded too.
Right? Yeah. They did a good job of that.
I'd say the deep, only because it's not like I'm actively rooting for him now, but I don't sigh when I see them go to a deep scene like I did last season.
Yes.
I'm actually kind of interested in like what his storyline is and where they're going with the Church of the Collective.
I've enjoyed every scene with the Deep this season. I can't say the same about season 1. And I think that's because season 1, they were trying to give him the more traditional kind of redemption arc. He's getting the taste of his own medicine. I don't care for that because
they didn't play too much into it though. He had his like single scenes. It was like a 2-minute scene. It wasn't like they overdid it though.
In season 1?
Yeah.
Well, we can argue about that in the season 1 review. But season 2 for the Deep has been, they've leaned into, this is a character that doesn't deserve redemption. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what redemption really is because he thinks he's already redeemed himself. And like you said, he'll change on a whim. Eagle the Archer, what do you think about him? He's my best friend. He's kind of toxic. Yeah, get him out of here. Kicked him out of the club right there. I think all the characters have improved on their season 1 counterparts. I think, and none of the characters feel different either. When you watch season 1 Homelander, it's the same guy.
I think Starlight is one character that I think definitively had a better season 1. I would have liked a little more for her this season, but
I think her role was definitely more important for the story because she was our way into the 7. And with season 2, like Teddy has mentioned, a lot of the characters have been getting more spotlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they kind of
they're opening up different avenues into the 7 now. So.
Yeah, they're spreading it around. I think Starlight is one of the better characters. So for her, when she's not in the spotlight as much, it's more noticeable. Mm-hmm. But I think other characters have kind of been pushed. Even like a character like Hughie. Hughie and Starlight kind of go hand in hand.
And the way they've continued with the character of Homelander is just, it's truly incredible. He is, I don't know what he is. But I can't take my eyes off of it.
This question here from Cough at Coughington.
Should get tested.
Put a mask on your Twitter profile picture. Is the fly exploding heads? ? This is a theory I was mentioning about that you guys haven't read up on, the fly theory. So in season 1, there's like 3 or 4 scenes where a fly buzzes across screen, and they really focus on it. I didn't notice this until like 5 days ago when I read it. So apparently in season 1 there's been a fly that keeps showing up on screen and people are wondering, is this Ant-Man? But Fly-Man? Is this a hero? Who's spying?
The heads exploding.
Who's keeping tabs on the boys?
The heads exploding were pretty delayed too. It was like one pop. 2 seconds later, another pop.
So you're saying that the fly just has to
time for travel.
Pop.
Yeah.
Pop. Could be the fly. They could tie it into the fly.
Wow.
I mean, that's also only a theory.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Is it Stan Edgar? Is he the fly?
Imagine Stan Edgar was the fucking fly.
You heard it here first. I didn't.
So
read
what is
anything on
Cindy
it.
then? Just a huge misdirection?
Little red herring, yes.
Could be.
Burning bright red herring.
She just fucking
Hitchhiked and dipped.
hitchhikes to Hollywood.
Yeah, I would too, man.
Yeah, she just goes
Starts
back
over.
home to West Virginia. Why'd you make that face?
Was that a shot at people listening to country?
No.
West Virginia. Yeah, it wasn't a shot. It was a reference.
All right.
I listen to more country than you, so don't even act like you're Mr. Country.
All right, Willie Nelson.
I would have preferred Hank Williams. But this question here from Kane, at Kane the Stranger. The Boys showrunner said that they regretted killing Lamplighter so early after seeing the actor's performance. Look at that, Aaron. Mm-hmm. I wish he had stuck around a bit longer. Thoughts?
Me too.
Yeah,
That's
we
what I was
talked about
saying.
this in the beginning.
Yeah.
Could he be too much, though?
No, I think Aaron and the actor's performance, Aaron making the points and watching the actor perform, has made me kind of a bit iffy on not iffy, but I wouldn't mind either way if they would have kept him along, or I didn't mind his ending in the show.
I agree.
Wish they could have kept him along for even just up until the finale, and that's when he makes a sacrifice. But I think he had such a strong episode, that kind of all just got like, it doesn't ruin the episode for me, but it definitely could have added upon it if he had a better ending and a little bit more time on screen to kind of delve a little deeper. Because I feel like this episode that we just saw, what we did get, like I said, it didn't ruin the character and what he did last episode, but it definitely didn't enhance it at all. It was kind of just like, he was just a douchebag.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I like, because they kind of steered away from the cliche of this is a bad person going to redeem themselves. This was a bad person put in an extremely tough spot, and then he's kind of forced to reveal everything he's been living with, because look at the danger he's currently in. He's got Frenchie holding a gun to his head. He's got superheroes going crazy that he's been torturing for years. So in that moment, I guess maybe all those emotions came up. But then you see the privilege sets right back in when he has to just sit around. I mean, he's even complaining about it, that he has to sit around and wait for this hearing. And when he's like, I've gone through a lot, and just takes a slice of pizza. And Newman's like, yeah, I can't imagine.
I didn't want to do it. Yep, yeah, they made me.
He is a fan. I hope he gets more roles. I hope this opens up Hollywood's eyes to Shawn Ashmore because he was fantastic in this. This question here from Lucky Chris at Chris Mayoral. Do you believe that we shall see Maeve try and kill Homelander this season or next? Or next,
I don't
definitely.
think she's got the facilities for that.
You don't think she has the facilities for that, big man? I think it's very possible that we could see a Maeve Homelander confrontation because I think that's coming. Because Maeve keeps playing both sides, and eventually Homelander's going to get wind of that and try and break her neck, because that's what he does.
I mean, maybe, but like everything we've gotten from every other character, every time it's A-Train, Deep, Maeve, whenever Homelander checks them, they're fucking terrified. So it's like, you know, maybe if we didn't get those scenes, it could be more of a fair fight. Or maybe if they team up, they could take him down, but everything we've gotten from these characters and from the way the world perceives Homelander is that there is no equal to Homelander.
I think Maeve. I wonder if that was Maeve's good deed, and now she might dip and not even like this is her way of getting out now. Because she, like you just said, she might just know that she's no match for Homelander.
Well, we see how she reacted to, you know, Elena leaving. It's like she has nothing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know where she goes from here. I think she will. You know, I don't think she's never been like a evil character, and we've seen her try to at least stand up to Homelander in some senses, but maybe her only course of, you know, is to do what's right. And if that means taking out Homelander, maybe there'll be a big team up. I don't know if that's going to happen just from...
Maybe she'll eat her Wheaties and go fight Homelander.
Yeah, just from like what we've seen so far. And like you said, that they don't rely too much on the big action spectacles, but maybe they will just go like full team up where it's just Stormfront and Homelander versus the rest of them. And that battle destroys the city or something.
And Black Noir. Imagine that three. I don't know if you have enough to take out that three, man. That's a strong three. We'll take one more question here from Milkiest Man. What do you think the boys are going to do next, considering that their biggest advantage just got his head blown off, and their second biggest advantage burned to death? Well, that, like you said, Teddy, it's the themes are repetitive, and also the boys being completely screwed is kind of repetitive. But it always works, because every time they get screwed over,
it just works out.
It's just something so ridiculous and unexpected.
Well, I don't know.
What if Billy, like, he takes the V?
Imagine that.
Becomes what he hates to take down Homelander. But he gets, like...
a heart attack.
He gets love sausage powers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help him.
He could just grow his hair a lot faster.
Yeah.
It just becomes hairier. He's already got a great beard. Maybe that is his power. You said Billy might have secret powers. I wonder if we're ever going to get that.
Yeah. Are they going to use the sun against him? I don't know, but...
What are the boys going to do next? Well, we saw from the trailer that A-Train is going to give them some sort of information. We also saw that Billy Butcher is going after Ryan and Homelander, so we may see a head-to-head here. Imagine if it's Billy who is the one who kills Ryan on accident. Or maybe he just does it on purpose. I don't know. A lot of crazy things can happen. I don't know what the boys are going to do.
You can't speculate on this, man, because they can do anything.
Well, we don't know because, like, we got, like, Ramen Joy is kind of like Black Noir's kryptonite, but we have no indication
He's got to have one, man.
that he has any weakness at this point. And it's not like, what are they just going to find out this episode? Like, oh, he doesn't like...
Well, that might be what Vogelsbaum told him.
He's lactose. No, he's not lactose intolerant because we know. I don't know. There's another way they could stop him. I don't know.
But I think Billy went there for that explanation.
No, I don't think so. I think that was more about the testimony.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was more about just getting him to test. Maybe he does. Maybe, I mean, that would be the place to go, right? Did you build in a weakness? Every great superhero needs to have a weakness, right?
That was a tense scene.
Well, I think this next episode we may see a fight between Homelander and Stormfront. I really think we might see that. Or we may see them split up, where Stormfront has to deal with the boys.
Can they do that again? Homelander killing the only person he confides in?
Maybe. If she wrongs him.
I don't know.
Has there been a hint that he might be catching on to what she's trying to do?
Man, the man's in love.
Yeah, he's bricks in his ears.
Or, yeah, we may just see the boys take out Stormfront. And that just gives more incentive to Homelander.
Do you have a thing that you wouldn't want to see off the top of your head?
No, not really. I think because the season has been so good up until this point, there's nothing I'm really apprehensive about. Yeah. I'm pretty confident in their ability to tie this season up.
Me too.
It's like, save like Billy or Homelander going down, which I don't think will happen. I think pretty much any way they go. Well, I mean, obviously they can go certain ways and we probably won't like it, but I think for the most part, what they established they are able to do in the past and where they're headed this season, that I think it should be a satisfying ending or something that propels it into the next couple seasons.
Yeah, whichever way they go, I think this show earned the right to wait it out and see what happens.
That's the thing. The end of season 1 had such a great cliffhanger where it ends with Homelander. Becca's alive. Homelander's got a son. Butcher is on the front lawn, waking up. Are they going to have a cliffhanger like that where season 2 ends with a piece of information that just makes you want to watch season 3 right away? Those are the cliffhangers I always prefer. The ones that, okay, season 3 is going to continue this story, but there's new developments that are moving the story in a slightly different direction, a slightly more exciting direction. Those are the best finales. Those are the best cliffhangers. So I'll be disappointed if we don't get something like that, where if the story kind of just ends with not enough things tied up.
Right.
It's kind of like we ran out of budget. See you next summer. I don't want that. All right, guys, that is The Boys Season 2, Episode 7, spoiler discussion. Thank you guys for watching and liking and sharing this video with your friends and your family. If they haven't watched, tell them to watch, right? What the fuck are they doing? Biggest show
Watch
of
the
year.
show and then watch this.
They ain't got nothing to do.
Then watch The Mandalorian.
Yep.
Yeah, then watch,
then
get
watch
prepared
us.
for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Watch the Avengers as well. Watch some anime. All the animes we plug at the end of our videos. Play Ghost of Tsushima. That's coming up as well.
Is it?
I hope if you beat it.
I'm working on it. I'm getting it.
Okay, well, stop listening to Dune and maybe play some video games.
I gotta put a pause on Dune now.
See ya.
Well, Warner Brothers put a pause on Dune for a year.
Well, would you look at that? It's finally over. Hey guys, Beau Oliver here for one final send-off. Now, before I beg you guys to like and share this video, I'd like to thank our very special Patreon pledgers. We are very proud of the community we've been able to build here at NerdSoup, and it would not have been possible without our Patreon supporters. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel. Everything I've said, you keep the fridge full, you keep the lights on. There aren't enough words to thank you guys, but we'll do it anyway. Thank you. And we have a few videos coming up that have been suggested to us by Patreon pledgers. My Hero Academia, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Full Metal Alchemist will be reviewed by Marissa, and yours truly, and Castlevania, which will be reviewed by Marissa and Aaron. And if you'd like to consider donating to our Patreon page, you can visit patreon.com/nerdsoup and check out some of the rewards we offer to our listeners. And really, we'd like to thank everyone who takes the time out of their day to watch our videos. Patreon pledger or not, your support is what keeps us motivated to keep giving the world our opinions on movies and TV shows and video games and pop culture, even though no one asked for it. We're still here, we're still yapping, and we hope you continue to join us. I'm Beau Oliver, and I support this message.